Hi, I'm Antonio Sala, and in this video we are going to discuss the relationship of Gaussian process regression formula with Shannon sampling theorem. So we'll have a statistical version of the ideal sampling and reconstruction concepts in signal processing. The ultimate goal is understanding why, when I wish to interpolate a finite bandwidth Gaussian process, then as I add up samples, I get the mean and confidence intervals, and as I said, as I gather samples, Shannon sampling theorem in Gaussian process version tells me that the width of the confidence interval will shrink down to 0 when infinite number of samples have been added. As we see in the simulation, even if there are some long-term effects because covariance spans infinitely far away, the confidence interval width shrinks and shrinks up to, in theory, 0 width with an infinite number of samples left and right of the range I am plotting here. The basic idea in Shannon theorem is that if I have a black signal here with samples every capital T seconds, in our particular case we'll set capital T to 1, so the samples will be in the integers. Then with that sampling pattern, Shannon theorem tells that I can perfectly reconstruct the signal in intersampling instance if that signal is band limited, if that signal has a power spectral density, if we get into the Gaussian process realm, so that the power spectral density is limited to some omega max, then I can perfectly reconstruct the signal if the sampling period is smaller than this pi divided by omega max. There is a perfect reconstruction formula which is called the Shannon-Whittaker reconstruction or sinus-cardinal filter with this expression, and then delving a bit into the detail of that is the objective of this video. This will be the band limited power spectral density we are going to consider, pi radians of bandwidth, so the Shannon theorem sampling period is pi divided by pi 1 second, and the Gaussian process with this power spectral density, if I carry out the inverse Fourier transform, I get this expression. Well, in fact, I did it the other way around. I started with this expression and carried out the Fourier transform, but okay, it's the same. So this expression is the auto-covariance of the ideal low-pass process, in which, coincidentally, well, it's not a coincidence, there is a sampling theory behind it. The covariance at integer instance 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, etc., apart from 0, which is the steady state variance. The thing is that this Gaussian process has a unit variance everywhere, stationary, but the covariance between samples separated 1 second away is 0. So my samples every second will be uncorrelated. So in a multivariate normal distribution, uncorrelated and statistically independent are the same. So we have sort of statistically independent samples every second, and with them we can reconstruct the signal in between up to 0 confidence interval. Which is the formula of this curve? Well, this is the magic sinc, sinus cardinal or something like that, which is the sinus of px divided by px, and in fact, except in x equals 0, in which we take limits, and it's 1 at x equal 1, 2, 3, minus 1, minus 2, then the sinus is 0, so we get this plot we were talking about. So good. Let us first sample some realizations of that Gaussian process to see which is the shape of the bandwidth limited random signals we are talking about. In order to do that, this kappa is the sinc function, and then we have a lot of test points from time minus 15 to time plus 15, 30 seconds difference. And well, as we wish to interpolate between samples, then our test points will be discretized with a 20 times finer grid than that from the samples in order to see how the intersample interpolation behaves. So with these test points, I evaluate the covariance with the sinc formula for all possible pairs. This capital K is just the standard Gaussian process regression covariance matrix computation, in which, well, for all possible pairs on these two inputs, which in our case are just the same, I evaluate the kernel function, being the argument the distance between the points I am calculating covariance of, because in stationary Gaussian processes, covariance depends on distance. Doing that for all the pairs, I end up with a covariance matrix which is a very big one, and then theory says that it must be positive semi-definite, but maybe I get some negative eigenvalues because of, round of error in matrix storage and eigenvalue computations. So I need to add this regularization term in the diagonal so that the eigenvalues are all positive, but this is just because of finite precision computations. So this tweak is made to get a positive semi-definite covariance matrix. So once I have this covariance matrix, I can just tell MATLAB to sample a multivariable normal random distribution with zero mean with this covariance matrix. And well, I get, for instance, two samples and I plot them. Then here I have the samples of the finite bandwidth signal we are dealing with. Of course, if we repeat, we get different realizations, and we see that they are smooth, and somehow there is a maximum wiggling up and down with frequency half a hertz. So good. Once we have these realizations, let us hint a first approach to Shannon sampling theorem by doing a principal component analysis of this covariance matrix. Then, if we analyze the eigenvalues and eigenvectors, for instance, the eigenvalues, sorting them in descending order, have this shape. Most of the eigenvalues are zero, except a handful of non-zero eigenvalues. Let us zoom in the x limit. So it seems that we have 34 non-zero eigenvalues, 34 principal components with non-zero variance, which means that all the 601 random variables can be explained by just 34, or even less, this is very low, but okay, yeah, 34 random variables whose combinations is what we see in the 600 ones. Of course, this is, a hint of Shannon sampling theorem, in the sense that in this test range, 30 seconds, we can place 31 equally spaced samples every second. So if Shannon theorem were valid for finite sample sets, then with 31 samples we would get the reconstruction, but well, as Shannon theorem is only valid for infinite sample size, then this means that apart from the 31 samples, we need 3 more to actually reconstruct everything. So the interpretation of this bar graph is sort of the finite sample version of Shannon theorem. Knowing 34 independent random numbers, we can reconstruct the whole 600 of them. But okay, this is somehow a simulation of my process, and an analysis of the covariance matrix The next video will discuss the actual interpolation and reconstruction formula, the sinus-cardinal filter or Shannon-Whittaker interpolation formula. This has only been a motivation in which we discussed what a finite bandwidth stochastic process power spectral density was, which was its auto-covariance, which was 0 at integer distances, so samples every second are independent, and Shannon theorem says that with an infinite number of such samples separated 1 second, there is a perfect reconstruction formula that will be the Gaussian process regression with this covariance expression. But for brevity, we'll leave that details for the next video in this case study. So we'll end this first video here. Thanks for watching.